Sora, their image platform.
Yeah.
Their movie platform.
A lot of people are not happy about this. Trust me. All those artists and those guys
So
out there.
here's the exit question, and it goes to chatbots that deceive. Are we going to, in the next year, have a similar theme where instead of deceiving us, the chatbots begin to get lazy and skip steps because they know it'll save machine cycles?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll be the motivation. Like, I don't know if they're going to have that motivation. If they get programmed in to reduce token usage.
What if it's not programmed in though, Rob? What if
They're going to charge you the same.
What if
They're just
you're
gonna tell
like,
you.
you're here in Arizona, you know, if you use your utilities in the morning, I know you may have paid the flat rate, but use the utilities more in the morning versus at night, you get charged more if you exceed these limits. Well, what if you do, what if there isn't an option and you don't even know that's there, and it's throttling you back and it's saying, wait a second, actually we could do this differently if I go this route and I can make it faster. I can skip these steps because 98% of the time, nothing ever comes up from those steps. And it does its own risk aversion or risk acceptance within the model. That would be horrible.
And Rob, it's going to target you because you're only paying $20 a month on the legacy plan. Like, you know, you're its prime target.
I got to tell you, Claude has given me more notices. You're out of time. You have to wait until, today, 1:30 it told me you have to wait till 2 o'clock. And I'm like, that's a half an hour. You couldn't have fudged it just a little bit? Come on. Anyway.
So I know we're wrapping it up and you just asked the outgoing question. The question that I have is, bringing this back up 5,000 feet. We started this podcast, 42 episodes ago, talking about hallucination. 15% of the time it gets it wrong. And here's why. It's getting it wrong because it's a random use of words that come out as blah, blah, blah. Now we're talking about it not listening to us. Is that just a reflection of, is it the same hallucination problem, or is there intent now behind what it's doing? Like, is this a drift in another bad thing about AI? Or look, it's algorithms. It's the same 15% hallucination. It's just because we're using the tool differently, it's showing up a different way that feels like it's not listening. It's still just part of that 15% hallucination.
Yeah.
You just opened up a whole new opportunity, and I want to patent this. I want to patent this right here and now. You guys are on the record. I am owning the topic of the psychology of AI. It's mine. I own it, because to be able to get inside the brain of AI and think, why did you think that way, and then try to correct it so that it gets back to the normal thinking that we want it to behave by. So it's me. I own
Ben,
it.
I think you had you drummed up something from the past that described that about that very topic.
It was just we were looking at this whole thing about AI kind of going off the rails a bit, and I just drifted back to an old Star Trek episode from the 60s, and where there's this AI computer called M5 took over the Enterprise and was supposed to do everything better, but then it went off the rails. And McCoy, at the end, of course, in a perfect monologue, basically says this exact words. He just says, compassion. That's the one thing no machine ever had. Maybe it's the one thing that keeps people ahead of AI, right? And I think about that as we're kind of talking, because Rob's point is it's probably the same 15%, and because we're using it differently, but it's sort of like human beings as well.